Awesome. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Demo Team Podcast. I am Ryan. I'm here today with Yuri, who's helping out once again, and we are here with the legendary Chris Lent. You might know him from the Villa. You might know him from First to Last if you like keyboards and windmills. You might have heard of him maybe from this little band called I Set My Friends on Fire. I don't know. They were on the show before. I mean, they always mention the praises of Chris Lent, but Chris also does Pretty Idiot. But I mean, that has two eyes in it. Is it pronounced differently, or is it pretty?
No, I was just making it unique, I think.
Okay, cool. I didn't want to be like, no one wants to be like, no one wants their band name mispronounced, and
Yeah.
it's pretty. I did it.
Yeah, pretty idiota.
It could have been. I don't want to like disrespect the pronunciation, which is key.
Very good.
Am I missing anything, Chris? I think.
No, I think I filled in a couple bands. I did like live drum, but none of them, they weren't mine.
We
So.
could be here all day, right? We
Yeah.
could be here for a
Yeah,
minute.
I've done some things, so.
Yeah. And most recently, people may have become associated or acquainted with Chris Lent from a little viral video that was running wild like Hulkamania was in the 80s. But Chris, you were the drum tech for Polyphia on a little concert, little festival. It wasn't Woodstock, but it was the So What Music Fest, where you kind of kept a homie in time for like a whole set. Was it the whole set, or was it like?
No, it was only for like 2.5 songs, really, because
Yeah.
like everything shit out all at the same time. So I just like went and helped him out, It was shocking, honestly, and scary.
The songs are not easy to keep up with. So,
No, I mean it's all right. I'm like, they're all 4/4 at least, so
true.
it's pretty
Yeah.
on. Like, so, I mean, it was nerve-wracking, but I was just trying to help him out the best way that could. I would be helped out if that situation like I'd be like, just fucking start tapping on me somewhere so I could feel it, or
I think
just so lost in that abyss.
you gave everybody like a free like pro gamer tip like in one fell swoop,
Yeah.
and luckily it went viral. So now lots of people are like, "Hey, if that happens, look to your Boy Scout survival handbook, go to the Chris Lent addendum section, tap and. I think that's a good thing for people to know, because there's sometimes people who could get in that situation and they would be like, "What do we do, man?"
Yeah, you panic. It's fucking I think a lot of people would just like let him like just drift in the ocean alone, and been like, I don't know, man, just fucking that's almost over. You're good. Just get through it. Who
I
cares?
mean, what else would work? Like someone screaming the beat to him,
Yeah.
crash,
Yeah, I don't know.
Just gotta get,
There's not a lot of options. Yeah.
just gotta get a straight conductor in the back,
Yeah.
waiting to freaking wander around.
I should have brought my Harry Potter wand. Fucking done the damn thing.
Could have Leviosa at his set, bro.
Hell yeah, dude. Done some dark magic.
Hell yeah, Chris. It's awesome having you on here. I know that little tidbit got your name out there for a little while, and that was good. And I'm glad. I hope it leads to many more lucrative drum tech positions.
Yeah. We'll see. I did get another gig. Yeah.
Somebody, you want to stay in time? Chris got you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a fail-proof plant, like a Leatherman. I got all these different tricks I'll just pull out of one area.
Hell yeah, man. Gotta keep that name out there, dude. It's awesome to have you on here. So like, let's take it like all the way back to the beginning if we can. Like, how did you get into music? Like what, like, you were born, you became a man, or you
Okay, so like why I started playing music?
Yeah, like even like what got you into music? Like what were you listening to that was like, oh man, I want to do this?
Oh man, I can remember when I was like 2 and I was listening to like Michael Jackson and fucking New Kids on the Block and just like
Yeah.
Paul Abdul and shit, and I was just like super into like microphones, guitars, and just like dancing and like pretty much just being a shitty front man, I guess. And I was just like always into that. My dad is pretty musical too, but like he's in the military, so he didn't really like pursue it as like a professional endeavor. But he was always into like guitar, and he was a drummer when he was young too. And so he had like an old drum kit, and I'd like go like fucking play like a old like native drum beat on there when I was like 3 or something, like ding 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 ding, like fucking this tribal shit. I always dug it. And then I remember my brother started doing music in school, and he was on, like, he started playing snare, and I was so fucking jealous of him because, you know, he's your older brother. You're trying to be like better than him, I guess, is the only nice way to say that. I was like, well, fuck him. I want to be the musician. You know? I was like 5. So I had years.
Sibling competitive rivalry. It's a tale as old as time.
Yeah, immediately, just right out of the womb. I was like, fuck it. But
it's on, dude. It's on.
Yeah. So yeah. Did you have a stash right out of the womb too?
I wish, man. This took a while. This was like mid-20s. So like in my early 20s, I had like a shitty, like, it was like so thin. But in my, like, when I was in it, I was like, this is a good mustache. And now when I look back, I'm like, that was not good. But I felt like it was I felt it looked like this the whole time. But
I mean, not to borrow from, like, you know, anime or Dragon Ball Z, but maybe that was just like the first level, you know, the first level of the transformation. It had to ascend to get even further beyond.
Yeah, I'm not even final form yet either. It's gonna be like
handlebars
white.
are gonna like curl.
I want to be that buff dude from Full Metal Alchemist with the fucking handlebar. You know what I'm talking about?
If we were to compare it to like the greatest Western of all time, like Tombstone, you got like a good like Wyatt Earp going on, man. You know, it's
it's like a combination. It's like a Docker, like a Hollywood, like Doc Holliday, and
But it looks good enough for a Western. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like, this isn't like I just got out of high school, check my whiskers out, bro. There's a little milk.
Dude, I went and did some extra work in a music video for this. I don't even know how to pronounce her name. Marissa Mayano. I don't know. She's pretty popular. She's in that fucking pop punk girl band that got flamed by the internet like last year or something. Oh, what's their name? Oh, I forget. But so I did extra work with them, and the director was like putting me in all these shots because of my mustache. You know what I mean? At first, it was like it's set in like the '60s, and they were talking about shaving it, and I was like, I was about to just like not take the gig. I was like, no, I'm gone. Yeah, like do not shave me. Yeah.
This mustache is taking you places, obviously, so you can get rid of it.
It can take all my power too. I feel like I shrivel up.
I'm kicking myself because before I came out, it was like last episode I wore a cowboy hat, and I was like, I'll just go with the Stranger Things kind of, you know, baseball. Cool, But then now I'm sitting here with a Western mustache, and I feel like I'm ill-equipped. I didn't come prepared correctly. The road not traveled, you know. I'm just
in another life. That's all good.
Next time I see you, I'll wear the cowboy hat, and we'll get a picture of you in it, and then they'll be like, he's still alive, Doc Earp. He's fused into one being.
Doc Earp.
Your secret is safe with me, Doc Earp. Don't worry. I know you guys, that's how you guys stick around this long. Anywho, so that's how you got into music. Like, you were very fascinated with microphones, Michael Jackson.
And then my dad's drum kit, and then I was I think I watched I was into heavy music, kind of like punk and shit, punk, not like street punk or until like high school.
Any examples of stuff that you were into?
Like my first records that I remember vividly, like burning out, was fucking like Weezer Blue. That's not punk, but and then Damn It by Dude Ranch, Blink-182. I just fucking left that like in my tape deck like all the time. And then my brother brought home from the Muddy Banks of Wishkah this Nirvana album once, so live compilation, and that like blew my fucking mind. I was like, this is so fucking heavy and sick, like gritty, you know what I mean?
But
so that got me more into it.
At the same time, like it was also so clean compared to like what we were used, like what, like I'm like 33, so like I remember tape decks running them like onion skin thin, just like such awesome stuff. Even for tape, like you could hear like a lot of clarity that wasn't around at that time.
Yeah, I love it. I still use the tape medium. My old car has tape decks, so I like buy a shit ton of cassettes. Because it's got such a nostalgic sort of air to it as well, because I feel like I'm listening in the past. I dig it.
Oh, yeah.
And Great merch item too. They sell out
Yeah.
immediately.
Shout out to every band that does tape decks, and like
Yeah.
it's you gotta itch that nostalgic bone because that's all some of us have.
Yeah. And the fucking like physical aspect of it too. I feel like our like everything's streaming, so we don't really have like cool physical shit anymore. Not like as we did. You know, it was all
Yeah.
CDs with booklets and cool shit back in the day, and now it's
Yeah, it's
just
definitely got a little more bare bones. Like it's if you were alive during that time and you get a CD now to compare to then, it's like, oh, this is like this is almost like it was, but like back in the day, you'd open the booklet and it's like its own little freaking like magazine, like hella big, all the personnel, a bunch of behind the scenes shots and stuff. Like there was an art to it. And I guess as time has gone on, like production costs go up, and it's just like you want to save a couple dollars because this streaming company way of payouts is like, you know, as much as I love my micro pennies, it's, you know, it's gonna cut into some costs because most people are just gonna listen to it on streaming, and they're not. Hopefully, fingers crossed, they're gonna hit that credits button and see like that little abridged version of the personnel. That's
yeah.
times changed, man.
At least like vinyl's coming back to a degree. Because I mean, I know I hit up like every record store day I can, or like just like go to local record stops when I'm on tour, just to like stock up. Like I'll buy fucking music from my childhood, or you know, all that shit, all the new records too.
I have like 2 tape decks and I have 1 vinyl. My only vinyl though is from First to Last is Dear Diary. So
Really?
The record store drop that happened this year, I was able to.
Oh yeah.
One of 1,000. So my homie was able to pick it up and mail it over from a different state because California, where I live, I check every record store. They're like, who? I was like, get off the phone. I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah, I wish I could have scooped that one up, actually.
I can always ask around. I know a few people.
No, it's all good. Don't worry about it. I don't need any more things in this room.
I almost, because Derek's been on the show, I told him, like, hey, man, if you want to do a timeshare, if you want to, like, you know, my record can visit you on weekends. Luckily, he got one. But, I mean, that deal offer is also open to you. If you need a timeshare, I mean.
Thanks, man.
You got to
I've always heard timeshares are great investments.
The record, yeah, man. And imagine how much the value will appreciate. It was just like, this has been held by 2 men now.
Yeah. I didn't know you had Derek on the show. I love Derek.
Oh yeah, Derek's the homie, man. He's been on here twice.
Yeah.
For cholera violins, like we were helping him like promote the heck out of Fever, which is like a dope ass track. And I think you're Pretty Idiot. Like I think it dropped around the same time. I think I threw something up on TikTok for that. That was good time. I like cholera violins. They're very dope. And Pretty Idiot's also that kind of like different. It's not like, you know, you're not blast beating and all that. It's definitely more vibey. And I'm a big fan of vibey stuff. And I'm glad that you guys actually like scratch that itch that you have in your musical palette.
Yeah, dude. Derek actually played guitar on that song too.
Really?
Yeah. Me and Derek collaborate a lot. We're talking about like we need to get together for like 2 weeks. We're talking about just like getting a cabin because we got like a whole shit ton of songs that we like always write together. Yeah. Both of our tastes really align like with each other, and our vibe, like we just work really well with each other. So hopefully,
all I'm gonna say, man, self-titled from First to Last, like that's my shit, dog. Like I really, the Matt Good era, like you know when you were around, definitely like that. Like I love Sunny, blah blah blah, etc. We can sit here all day praise. I'm just saying, self-titled era, you guys took a lot of risks and you did a lot of cool ass shit and you went on a lot of cool ass. And I was just like, I appreciate that time because I was there on the YouTube channel, like
Fftl TV.
Yeah, good old times, man. Well, I think we can get there. We can get there. So we got you through how you got into music. What got you to playing in bands like, you know, that you're like associated with now? What led you to becoming more of like that, you know, post-hardcore pioneer man?
I wouldn't go that. That was off of a MySpace book. So I like played in a local band in like 9th grade and 10th grade in Clarksville. And it was like kind of just like experimental, fun, like jammy groove shit. And then I moved to Alabama, and then there was a MySpace bulletin from First to Last about looking for a drummer for their buds in this band called By Far the Least. And I was like, I got this. and like didn't even send in the audition tape yet. I was like, I'm gonna fucking nail this. And so then I told my mom that I was gonna have to move to Georgia and stuff. And then I sent in the tape, and then I got the gig, and then I had to move to Georgia, and so that's when we started like living with From First to Last. Like, well, Travis, and then Derek came, and then Matt. Matt was kind of like, I think he was like Canada, or his girlfriend was from Canada. He was usually gone, and then he came and lived with us for a while. But that's when I just like started being around those guys all the time. Then we went on tour together. Then my band broke up, and you know, life keeps moving on, and I just stuck with those guys because they kept wanting me around.
Don't go, Chris. Stick around. You want to play keyboards?
Yeah, move this fucking box over here. Be our merch guy. Be our videographer. You know, play this. Like, I don't play that instrument. Like, it's fine, man. It's just 36,000 people. You're good.
I mean, your time in the band, like, I feel like that is a very important time, because, like, the videos, like, YouTube was in its, like, fledgling days. There wasn't much, like, on YouTube that was, like, not clips from movies and, like, content creation. And I feel like as a band during that time, like, you were able to see, like, behind the scenes stuff, no matter if it was, like, 2-3 minutes, because, like, back in, like, most people see that, like, oh, those videos are short. Like, they weren't getting no ad space. So it's like, well, YouTube was different. It was a different beast, and I'm pretty sure videos could only be like 5 minutes in the very early days of YouTube.
Yeah, there's definitely a cap. I think it was.
Yeah, it was 10 minutes. It was 10 minutes. I distinctly remember.
Yeah, way back in the day. So like, definitely like, and like, it was a good thing for you guys, because like it like definitely kept you guys like in mind, like during that time. Like, let alone just like, you guys were like covering all bases, because like, you not only were you guys like in video games, you guys were also like on the soundtrack of video games, because I believe Derek said like you guys got scanned into a video game. I don't know if you were in the band at that point.
Well, no, I was like auxiliary at that point, so I wasn't full-fledged on paper. They signed a deal with EA, so they put them in Facebreaker. Then they wrapped our bus for Warped Tour Facebreaker. The guys had to go play their characters against kids on Warped, and then we also did the Madden Palooza that was at the Rose Bowl or something in Pasadena. It was fucking weird. It was like we played like first, and like ESPN's like filming us. There's like barely anyone on the grass like watching us. They're all just like walking around IKEA. I think like Busta Rhymes and Airborne played and shit. It was like, it's fucking bizarre. So
I think Bizarre and From First to Last come together like a lot, because I feel like a lot of random happenstances happen with this band at all times. Like, in every era of an iteration of this band, like, there's definitely like a strange instance. Like, wait, they played with Kiss. Wait, they were on Jimmy Kimmel. Like, what? Like,
it was the management. It was
Like, From First to Last is like definitely like even during your time, like post-hardcore bands didn't really, like, at that point, like, you know, The Used and all that, like, that was early 2000s. It's like 2007, 2008, and like From First to Last is on like Jimmy Kimmel, and you're doing Windmills, just like jamming out on a keyboard, and it's just like, that was important to me as a kid. Like, it was like, that's my favorite, like one of my favorite bands. And as butthurt as I was that Sonny wasn't in the band, it was something that I could still like feel like proud of, because it's like, wow, I used to sit in 2004 listening to From First to Last in my mom's car, and it's just like, it was cool. It was very awesome to like stay up, record that on a VHS, and like watch it back and back and back, you know, just because it's like, I like From First to Last. They're on Jimmy Kimmel. It's on network, like, not like regular basic cable. Like, you know, I was able to see it at home. I didn't have like, you know, if I was on the internet, like, the internet's so slow, the only thing that really worked really quickly was freaking like MySpace, which wasn't like a high maintenance on the bandwidth, you know?
Yeah.
So it was definitely a cool thing to see you do that. What was that like for you?
The Kimmel? Terrifying. I was absolutely terrified. I was not a good, like, the only instrument at that time I felt confidence in was drums. And so I was like learning as I'm playing all these songs, like keys and stuff. And I'm so like, have wicked bad imposter syndrome. So I'm like constantly just ragging on myself. So I'm just like, don't fuck up on TV. Like, don't press the wrong note. I'll just fucking unplug all this shit. I was so scared. So I mean, you can tell I'm like, I've got my head down the entire time. Like, my grandfather's like, I waited 4 fucking hours to watch you on TV. I couldn't even see your fucking face. I was like, that's my bad, man. Like, I was scared shitless. Like, it was terrifying. It was fun though. I mean, it's surreal. Like, I feel like looking back on it, I can appreciate it a lot more. But like when I was in it, like I said, I was so down on myself all the time that I was just like, kind of like felt like I didn't deserve anything that was happening. So it kind of like put it in this weird sort of distortion to where it didn't feel like it was happening. You know what I mean? Like I didn't process fully what was going on because I was like, this will come along again and I'll be more prepared next time or something. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't the time. This isn't your time to be like, I don't know. It's a weird thought. It's just my mind. But
I mean, you're a young man at this point, you know, life experiences, you know, you're experiencing that. I mean, how many people can just be like, you know, you'll get them next time, Slugger, on Jimmy Kimmel. Like, you know, it's a big opportunity, and it's just like, everyone's gonna have a first time, and it's definitely like it's a different experience for a lot of people. And the fact that you know, it's not like you're like that guy that's famous for like throwing up on Jimmy Kimmel's stage from being like
that would have been pretty rad. What a fucking god tier person I'd be at this point.
I think that would have changed the entire context of the Polyphia thing going viral. It's like, remember the throw up guy on Jimmy Kimmel?
He's back. Here he is. You wanted him. Fuck. Yeah.
Oh,
like during that time too, like with what you said about like YouTube, I think the reason the band started to get more interest and like people stuck by us too during that time was because of our personalities. We were able to show people that we weren't like during that time, like people were holding bands to like on this like pedestal, like Burt McCracken. Like, I mean, he had a fucking Burt McCracken's My Homeboy fucking t-shirt where he looks like Jesus. Like, people are like, these are rock gods, you know? It's like the 80s when everyone's like, holy shit, fucking Poison's here. Like,
but
I'll let him fuck my mom.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like Burt McCracken's on stage with My Chemical Romance. My Chemical Romance is like the biggest thing in the world. Yeah. And then you also have it where it's like Burt McCracken was on the Osbournes. Like, he was like fucking like, Ozzy Osbourne was talking shit about him. Like,
yeah, I totally forgot that. Wasn't he dating Kelly? Like, oh my god. Just unlocked a memory.
20 years is scary.
Yeah. It's like, holy shit.
Time's moving too fast for me.
Yeah, I'm kind of into it. Suck me into the vortex. I'm fine.
Let's go. Let's fucking
do it. Fucking rip it up.
It's like, I'm ready to be 60 already. Let's go. Come on. Just make it go faster.
Yeah. It's fun though. It was a good time. I definitely am more appreciative of the memories now. And I was like, I don't want to sound like I was like, fuck this when I was in it. I was super happy and like to the guy, like I was a fun person to be around. I was just mean to myself inwardly. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, whatever.
It's not for like, like I don't doubt like you weren't like walking around going like, why am I here? Stop inviting me. Like,
sucking the fucking not an energy vampire. I was just like,
because 100%. Because like with like your time in From First to Last, it was the self-titled era. I was like, you weren't on Throne to the Wolves, were you?
No, I left like I did like a demo with them that didn't make the album. It's a good demo. I like laid keys on like one song, maybe two, and then I joined iSet, and so that got like my full attention.
Was that like something that you sought out, or was that like kind of like Epitaph Records being like, hey Chris, hey buddy,
yeah, no,
help us out here, buddy?
Epitaph Records has never said, hey Chris, hey buddy to me. They've always been like, who the fuck? Why is this guy? Why do we always see him?
How'd you get back in here, Chris?
Yeah, goddamn, this guy's everywhere. No, so Travis did their record, like he produced it, and the whole time he was telling me about it. And then he showed me like the demos, and I think it like 3 of the songs for pre-production, and I think it was like ASL and fucking Beauties in the Eye of the Beer Holder, something else too. And I was like, yo, this is fucking sick. And I'm pretty sure, I don't want to like misquote, but like there's a sticker on the front of the album that says like heavier than earth or something, like the quote. And that he was like, what should I say about this record to review it on the thing? And I was like, say it's heavier than earth. And it should say I said that. That's a total me thing to say. So
Damn
a
it,
band I
Travis.
joined, yeah. So technically a band I joined, I also had the review for on the front of the album. But yeah, so I was like, yo, you guys need a drummer pretty much. I was like, put me in contact with them and I'll like send in an audition tape. And I hadn't played drums in a while at this point, like because I was doing keys and traveling.
Yeah.
And
So, if I could ask one question, like, was that like was it like the homies were just like, you know, like, hey, it seems like you're not happy playing keys, or was it like your own choice being like,
no, that was totally me.
okay,
I think I might have, I just had like a big like awakening period. I was like, I have to like do the thing that makes me the most happy right now, or I'm gonna fucking keep recessing into like this like destroying myself, like, you know, mentally. Yeah, because I need the release and to feel like I'm creating and having a positive output, and I'm not getting that from an instrument I learned like a year ago that I haven't fully been able to like speak on. You know what I mean?
Of course. Like,
Yeah,
you feel
so-
like you articulate better on a drum set than you do a keyboard.
Yeah, because I worked so hard at it. I mean, I was like in basements most of my life, just like shredding it out and playing all these shitty shows and fucking do, you know what I mean? Like working real hard at it. So
Like, right at this point, like, that was like, what, 10, 15 years ago? Like, how do you feel now as a keyboardist? Do you feel like you've like progressed any like further?
oh yeah, I love it now. Yeah, so yeah, I spent so much time like honing in on that instrument and then honing in on like guitar and other instruments now. Starting in like 2010, I took like or 2012, I took like a big break just to like focus on writing and getting better at all those instruments, so I could actually speak on it and have a voice. So like all the Pretty Idiot shit's all keyboards and guitar, and that's just all me, except for like that one hook in Vultures. That's Derek. But
what a cleverly ironic name. You're like, I can finally speak on all of these instruments. What shall I call this music? Pretty Idiot.
Yeah, yeah,
That'll
exactly.
show 'em.
Yeah. Named after my mom's cat. So.
I love it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, heads up, we've got 9 minutes left before I need to
All right.
zoom in. So just quick heads up, if we
Yeah.
snap out of existence, that's why.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
if
just
you
send me
wanna,
a
like,
link.
Yeah, I can send you a link. We can restart. We'll just edit it all together.
Sounds
Yuri
good.
makes a funny joke when the whole thing crashes, because usually cash pays for this like Zoom thing, and it just doesn't make sense from someone in this economy to pay for a Zoom account. So
Yeah, absolutely.
I can make the world end like 5 times over, it's fine. Just explodes Dragon Ball Z. I think I actually did that last time, actually. Just explodes Dragon Ball Z style and we're fine 50
I like
seconds later.
that. That's great.
it'll be your episode in the Kid Bandit. I don't know if you're familiar with Kid Bandit. If
I'll
you're
check
into
them out.
AEW or anything, like, they're an independent wrestler, and they were on the show with
Ah.
Adventure and Yuri here. But
That's sick.
yeah, well, it'll be a callback to that episode. So if you wanted to see that effect, if you have free time in the future, you want to see what that effect will look like, I'm sure Yuri will do something in a similar vein. But with 8 minutes left, I think we can kind of like maybe round out, like, so you became part of Astral Rejection's like
Oh yeah.
rework. Yeah, because like they had recorded the whole album with Nebel, and it just became a
Nabil.
situation.
Yeah. Well,
Nabil, my
no.
bad.
So I was part of that first record too. So
Really?
I joined like literally like 5 months after the release of You Can't Spell Slaughter, and then that was like their first tours that they were doing. And so it was like an Alisana tour, then there was an Attack tour, I think, or fuck, I don't know, it's a while ago. But yeah, so we started touring, and then we were gonna go in the studio, and we spent 2 months in there recording Astral Rejection, the first one, and then after that 2 months, we felt good about it. Nabil worked so fucking hard on it, like he's really killing himself because he was the head writer of that band. You know what I mean? Like that was his brainchild, and I'm just the drummer. Like I'm just gonna go play drums, maybe do a little keys if they wanted, but And then the epitaph pretty much like was like, it's not heavy enough, it's not in the market we want you guys to be in, so they shelved it. And that just basically means that you don't get to touch it and no one gets to hear it. I think they released one song and said like Excite Dyke, and they were like, this is a demo, and they put it on a sampler or some bullshit. Like it wasn't even like a full release. So that was all real drums too. Like that was me playing drums. Like the album's out now finally. I think we started enough petitions that they finally released it. And I mean, we won't see a cent from it. They didn't fucking whatever. That's all whatever. I'm just glad people get to hear it now. But then we went, and then like 2 months after that, Nabil had quit because it was just like he was over the industry at that point. Like it's not hard to jade a good make a good person jaded, especially when they're super excited and they're just doing this because they like music. And then you get them in the industry, and these people are like, oh, yeah, we're not going to release that. We're going to fucking do this. We want you to do this. And he's like, I don't have to do this, so I'm gone. I'm going to go, work on my other fucking things I'm great at because he's really talented in general,
Yeah, and I think most people, like, may not realize, because I've watched, like, we had a Nate on the show, and we've had, I've watched, like, a bunch of Matt interviews, and, like, those guys at that time, like, it's not like they were party animals or anything. They were very smart kids that like studied. And like,
I wouldn't say Matt studied. I would say Nabil's smart. I wouldn't say me and Matt are in the studious. We're fun. We're funny.
I believe it. Great literature. I believe it, man. Drinking a nice cup of Moscato and just having a nice brandy, on the sunset. I believe that. I want to believe that. But at this time, I mean, nobody wants to feel like their time's wasted, especially if they, like, anyone that's heard OG, it's like, why? Yeah, I would understand why anybody would be frustrated why that album would be shelved, because it's a good album, and there are a lot of people out there who've heard that, and they've heard the second tracking over, and people pick favorites. It's not like I don't like the original. I like the OG. I like the Epitaph version because it's like Life Hurts is considered by some to be like one of the first in the vein of like that sad boy trap rap type thing, and it's just like
killed that track.
Oh yeah, and it's just like there's definitely merit to be found in both albums. It's not like just because Alt Press has like an angry writer that gives it like half a star or like 1.5.
Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, and now nowadays you got Alt Press is like, oh, I set my friends on fire, it's genius, and it's just like like times change, people change, and I think a lot of reviewers from like back then like just kind of got off on being like mean to bands for some reason. Like it was weird.
I mean, critics in general, what are you doing? You're fucking consuming something as fast as you can and trying to shit out a response on what it fucking tasted like so you can get an algorithm and fucking or like make a deadline for your report. It's like, who gives a fuck about what it tastes like? We all got fucking mouths, dude, and ears. Like, I don't give a fuck what yours. I mean, I do look at Rotten Tomatoes. I want a general consensus of fucking audience score. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna go waste my time.
But I think what people want is like an honest review. Like, nobody wants to hear just like, oh, this is the worst band ever. Don't listen to this.
Shitting on it to shit on it, like not knowing anything. Yeah, it's just fucking. People are, critics sometimes just. I don't understand it.
They get high.
Just leeching off.
Yeah. I don't get, like, there's definitely that, like, negativity stream. Like, it's always persisted, and it definitely seems like with YouTube letting people make videos as long as they want these days. There's just, like, minutes and hours of just contextualized, like, I hate this because this is, like, the thing to hate right now because, like, there's a lot of people hating this right now. So if I want to get some attention, I better hate on this, too.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Yeah.
And then when it's cool, like 10 years later, like you said, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I fucking loved that band when I was younger." Cool.
Yeah, like cool, dude. Where were you 10 years ago?
Yeah, you son of a bitch.
Time's moving too fast. But I mean, I think that's just kind of like the times. Like sometimes it takes a little bit for people to kind of get it because I feel like with I set my friends on fire now, like with them like popping off on like Facebook or something, you know, like swooping in and using that like intellect to steal a festival's like URL.
So
And
good.
yeah, you know, like it takes like as a certain level of like experience in the industry to kind of learn these like quick-witted things to
Yeah.
like keep yourself relevant. I think like nowadays like that humor appreciates because I think in the MySpace days there definitely was kind of a curtain, like you were saying, like there's a mystique. These are rock stars, these are rock gods, and I feel like
Yeah.
people like this band rose up out of MySpace. They can't be like we gotta like just shit on them because they're not real. They didn't go through the Osbournes and they weren't on stage with My Chemical Romance or whatever bullshit reasoning. You know, I'm pulling out of my ass here, just thinking of nonsense. But I think you get what I'm trying to say, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. People, we're easy targets, honestly.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Nabil's a sweet guy. I think it was just because everyone had a sense of humor and didn't take themselves seriously in the band that it was easy to shit on him and be like, yeah. But then it's like, also in that aspect, it's hard to shit on us because your jokes aren't funny and our jokes about ourselves are funnier. You know what I mean? Like, you can't say anything that's gonna best my put down against myself. Like, you pussy. Like, fuck you.
I'm the king of pussies, man.
Yeah, you idiot. Whatever.
He's not a pretty idiot, though. Howdy, welcome back to the world of tomorrow.
We did it.
Since we have this little calamity reel here, I wanted to bring up, Chris, do you mind, like, you know, I feel like 2012 you said was when you took a break from music, right?
Yeah.
All
yeah,
right,
it was, yeah.
That was with I Set My Friends on Fire, right?
Yeah. I think it was like late 2011, 2012, I believe.
Yeah.
It was we were on tour in Europe. Me and Matt were just like, I feel like everything that happened with Nabil and the label kind of grinded us so hard and just created sort of like, we wanted this certain thing to happen and we wanted this certain sort of music, and we just kept getting like, I don't know, we weren't able to reach it in a way, and we were just getting frustrated with outside forces. Like, I wanted to go like just like make my own music that I like was hearing and stuff, because I mean, like, on that second Astral Rejection, which is technically the first, like, there's like a couple songs that are just what I made musically, and then there's a couple songs that what Matt made musically, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like he did like Developer and Life Hurts, and I did I don't even know what the title is. My Paralyzed Brother. These are all Matt's titles, by the way. My Paralyzed Brother Taps His Foot. I did that one. I did Narcissism Paw, and then a Rectangles. That's it, the Rectangles. So I wanted like some more like cyber grind, fucking like future shit. Just like, I like Matt when he's like sounds like a madman. Like,
same.
Yeah. So I did like that record because I think we both like found like cool balance. Like, we got to like have some songs, because the first version of that, we didn't. Me and him were like, you know, taking Nabil was the maestro. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that was cool. But anyways, I think I got off track here.
Go ahead.
Okay,
Ramble away, man.
It was
That's
just
what it's all about.
So it was like, yeah, I think it was just like frustration with the industry people that were dealing with us, like our manager, our booking agents, the scene they were sort of lumping us into as well, because we were like content with touring with like bands like Dance Gavin Dance. Those are like some of our buddies, and we were like, if we released this record, we would have been on a different trajectory, and look where Dance Gavin is now. Like, that market that all those industry guys that fucking were like, oh, bring me the rise and breakdowns, you need this shit. It's like, oh, you totally missed what was happening here. And Dance Gavin's like fucking selling out 3,000 cap venues still now. You know what I mean? Like, they don't have foresight, they have fucking foreskin. They just fucking.
I think even Bring Me the Horizon was smart enough to be like, hey, it's time to dump the breakdowns. Let's go.
Fucking, yeah. they're radio rock. Like it's this,
Yeah.
whatever.
It seems you can't copy what people are doing. It's kind of like it's like I've always called it being like either on the pulse, ahead of the curve, or like like there's some bands that are going to be able to make like a really great demonstration of the sound that is popular at the time, and it could have nothing to do with the fact that it's like, oh, I'm making this because I want to make the best metalcore. It's just like, well, I really like Chugs, bro, and I just really wanted some screams, like.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to like recreate the wheel, but when you start telling me like, hey, your song needs like 9 breakdowns, like with back-to-back breeze, please. It's just like,
yeah.
Don't tell me what to do.
Yeah, I think when he started like hearing the demos from when we went to California, we lived in this apartment and we did Astral Rejection, and when we were sending off all the production demos to this label, I think they're like, oh, we'll kind of get what we want a little bit. We're not gonna, like, these guys are not going to do what we say, pretty much. Because, I mean, there's nothing that sounds... Like, that's a weird album. Like, it's a fucking... I like it, but it's definitely an eclectic taste in a way. Like, not saying, like, it's above anyone's taste, but it's definitely, like, you have to like a couple different things for sure to listen to this album and be like, okay, I get it. You know what I mean?
I feel like definitely as like time progressed, like with Life Hurts and stuff like that sound evolved from that point. I feel because like at the time not everybody else was making Life Hurts tracks, but like 4 or 5 years later, all of a sudden it's like, wow, everyone's doing Life Hurts right now. What's going on? I'm scared.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I think that's why people like I Set My Friends on Fire so much. Looking back too. Because, I mean, Matt Mahana and Nabil are from fucking Miami. Like, that's where all that sad boy rap shit comes from. Like, that 808 stuff. Like, Suicide Boys love... I don't know if they're from Miami, but, like, Suicide Boys loved I Set. Like, I'm pretty sure they, like, talked to Matt a couple times. I'm sure, like, that whole wave of, like, Little Peep and whatever else their names are that I don't listen to. But I respect... like, there's that whole wave of music that sounds like direct rips of shit that was happening back then. Mm-hmm. The man, Mahana especially, like, he was like giving it's like freedom to think about like things in that way. I feel like,
of course, and it's like you guys, like, I feel like I Set My Friends on Fire even from first to last, because like Dear Diary has like Untitled track or Dead Baby Kickball the song, but like rap or have always kind of had this like association, like a love affair of sorts, because like you had like Punk Goes Crunk like back in the day. It's like, and with I Set My Friends on Fire starting off is like getting on like a lot of people's radars with Crank That. It's just like it's always like been like a fascinating relationship between like post hardcore, emo core, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, there's such a common theme with both of those things, and that's heavy fucking groove and halftime. Like, that's all like good heavy music is just like sick ass groove. Just caveman fucking stomp around. Like, everyone's like, yeah, I mean, it's like being around the tribal fire back in the day, and you're just like, yes, fucking play the heaviest downbeat you can, dude. It's sick. It's like, I think it's like a basic human essence. Yeah.
Every time I hear any some like caveman heavy music, I just think that one song by Death Clock. What was it? What song was it? I'm so fucking tough. I'm so fucking tough. That's right. Yeah. you know that one, right?
Yeah. I love that.
It's like, man. This randomly popped in my head. Sorry.
That's
every
good.
time.
I like. Death Clock's one of my favorites. I was just watching Metalocalypse yesterday.
Dude, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
When are we getting the Pretty Idiot animated series on Netflix?
Dude, I got, like, I have this animation I scripted out that I want to make. And I would totally do it to Pretty Idiot.
No, you gotta make a live action. Like, I'll audition as the lead.
Okay.
I've got both halves the titles down.
And you're humble.
Humble. I'm the most humble guy there is, man.
Dude.
Myself, there's no one humbler than me, dude.
Yeah, everyone says it.
It's like the most common thing people think about me is I'm pretty humble. Like, kind of, a little bit,
Yeah, absolutely. I actually had an animation idea for a video for I set during Astral Rejection that I had like scripted out, but then we ended up going with the one for It Comes Naturally, because I wrote that one too, and then my brother Nabil directed that one. But it was pretty much along the same. All my shit centers around like space wizards and time travel, or some sort of portal or something. You know what I mean?
That old chestnut.
Yeah, a classic fucking thing.
Kind of
Can't go
devolves
wrong.
into an average episode of Venture Bros.
Yeah, pretty much. And we actually for a video that came out for I Set My Friends on Fire for the track Astral Rejection, John Snepp made that video. He was the director of Metalocalypse. Yeah, they were like, hey, you guys want to go to Titmouse Studios and meet John Snow? I was like, fuck yeah, dude, are you kidding? We're like walking around, they were like drawing an episode of Venture Brothers, like some special. I was like, this is the greatest day of my life.
It's fucking awesome.
Where's Mastodon? Is Mastodon here? Please.
I would just be
glorious.
Yeah.
That just sounds awesome to me. Like I would just be like, oh.
Yeah, that was great. I definitely was like containing my fanboy shit.
You
know what?
Fucking,
Yeah, go ahead, Yuri.
I says, the chance to do that shit, I'd be fucking shit myself before some shotgun blast. Holy fuck.
Yeah. I just walked around with it. I was like, oh, this is great. Cool place. Yeah, it's nice, yeah.
Be walking around,
Metalocalypse? Yeah, I've heard of it. That's pretty good.
walking around with an O face and just giggle dick, just like
Giggle Dick. That's the first album from Pretty Idiot, actually. I don't know if you knew that. Giggle Dick.
Really? Is that where
No.
I stole that from?
Yeah. You owe me money, dude.
Ah, fuck! I'm ripping them off.
3 millionths of a cent right now. Spotify style, baby.
How do you want your penny cut? Should I use
Yeah.
like, scissors or like
Yeah,
steel
send
cut?
it. Yeah, send me a check that costs more to write it on the paper.
I can get a penny through some cheese graters, man.
Dude,
like a metal file like a little dust off a penny, send that out.
pretty much. Dude, I got a fucking like 6 or 7 years ago. I got like a letter from Epitaph. Like I was like, oh shit, hell yeah, another royalty check. These don't come often, and they're like, hey, we're not going to send you any more checks till it accumulates to at least $25. I was like, well, I guess I'll never see another check again. Just good times in the industry, man.
That's horrible. The last time you seen it, I mean, with I Set My Friends on Fire, like kind of like get that little spike in the needle. I mean, you haven't seen it.
Yeah, well, no, Slaughter got a spike. I don't think Astral Rejection gets a spike ever. People are like,
Everyone
yeah,
go to sleep at night listening to Astral Rejection.
yeah, stream it.
Go at Epitaph. Be like, give Chris his microsense right now.
Yeah. Stream a rectangles 3 million times, please.
Chris wants his quarter, man.
Yeah, I need a quarter, dude. I think if you get into music and you expect to make money, you're doing it wrong, dude.
No.
Yeah, not gonna
As
happen.
far as I've learned so far is like most people have the misconception of thinking labels are like this path to success when it's more like getting a big credit card that can talk to you.
Exactly, they're a loan. Yeah, they're a loan shark. That's it. They'll be like, oh yeah, dude, we're gonna hook you up. We're gonna get you this video. You can do this. It's like sick. And they're like, well, you didn't sell enough records, so we're gonna drop you, and you're not gonna see any more cents. So we're all just gonna pay ourselves back with any streams you guys release. Like, okay.
They're pretty much a MasterCard with hands to choke you with. So
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Some people like getting choked.
yeah, can't knock it if you haven't tried it. Don't be talking bad about. Anyway, moving on. Chris, do you mind if I talk to you about like some bands? Like we usually talk about bands on this show, and I know like after I Set My Friends on Fire, you took your little break. We can talk more about Pretty Idiot and stuff, but we got about 18, 17 minutes before this thing does the world crashing again. But we can see how the flow goes. But if you wouldn't mind, would you like talking about like a few bands and like I can tell you about them, where they're from, what kind of music they do? People usually reach out to get like ad space on the show and kind of
Yeah, let's
get
do
their
it.
band, yeah, get their bands talked to with some artists. So first is Let Me Bleed. They're like a West Palm Beach metalcore band. They kind of have like they don't have any music out yet, but they kind of like released like a couple covers on like TikTok and like Instagram, and they kind of been seeing like a lot of cool success with that. So like they'd be releasing like their first track here pretty soon coming up. So my question to you, Chris, for a band like Let Me Bleed, being all the way from West Palm Beach, what advice would you give for somebody like on their first release of music?
Uh, I would say don't overthink it. Just make it. Just do what you think is natural and fun. You know what I mean? You don't want to. It's not the last song you're gonna make. It's your first one out the gate. Just make it as fun and happy as you can. Put as much good energy as you want the person to receive. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people overthink their shit like constantly. If I learned anything from Kenny Beats, it's don't overthink shit.
Yeah.
Shout out Kenny Beats.
Yeah. You can always set yourself up for failure and talk yourself out of a lot of good situations if you overanalyze. It can happen. Yeah. Your own mind can be your own worst enemy sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
This is true.
And also, I would say, if something's popping off right now musically, like a quick flash in the pan sort of like genre, don't fucking follow that. Just do what you like, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you want to incorporate a dubstep breakdown, like go for it. Who can stop you?
Yeah. If you like electronic music, fucking do some cool shit. Experiment for sure.
Damn,
hell
man,
yeah.
when the hell did you get your hands on my footnotes?
I won't tell them about the polka portogram band you got going. Don't worry, man. That one.
Polka grind? That's
What?
Don't worry, Yuri. I'm not gonna tell them that.
I was going for like jazz, bodcore, flamenco. What are you talking about?
Hey,
That's a big one. That's popping off lately. People love it.
Your reggaeton waltz band with ska elements will be heard, Yuri. Don't worry.
Shit, I need to write this down. I'm getting ideas now.
Hell yeah.
Don't worry, man. Bossa Nova's coming back in a big way. Don't worry. I know.
It never left, bro.
Gonna be here forever, man.
Yeah.
Partying till the break of dawn. But moving along, my good homies in Fftl will be doing a tour on the West Coast out here. They'll be touring with like He Films the Clouds on the West Coast, and I believe they have a couple Eastern dates. I always come prepared for these things. It's the best. Like I always have like my stuff right on hand, and it's just like I'm able to reach out to it, grab it, and show it off to people right when I need it. And I'm not like yammering on, buying time while I look for something. Totally. That's not me right now. I swear.
This is like a politician. This is really good. Career politician at this point.
I've been doing this almost. I think Demo Team Podcast started in 2020. It's 2022. It's been going on a minute. I've been doing this.
You're in it.
I'm in the zone. Oh, I'm horrible. I always hate when people say they'll send you some graphics, and it doesn't matter if they did or didn't. I can't find them. I'm scrolling. Yes, I found it. The Lost in the Woods tour. Yes, America, freedom. Anyway, it will have Fftl, He Films the Clouds, Minimalist, and Get Bent. They'll be touring all over. Definitely check it out.
I like that name.
It's a good name. But yeah, they'll be touring everywhere from like Salt Lake, Las Vegas, Palm Desert, Fontana in California, like Nevada, Utah. I mean, Washington. It's everywhere, man. Like, definitely go check out their pages. Like, definitely Fftl. It's just like at Fftl. That's Castle. That's on most places. I mean, maybe it might be Fftl Band on Instagram. But definitely go check all that stuff out. Like, it's a really great tour that's coming out. I definitely want everyone to enjoy those kind of things because music has been kind of on the back burner the last couple of years. And, like, if any shows near you, just check it out. Maybe it's a band you've never heard of. Who cares? Maybe it's the most popular band in the world. Maybe Pretty Idiots in your neck of the woods, go check them out. You never know. Like, good music's always can be found wherever you look. You look really hard. Sometimes you don't even have to look hard to find good music. Sometimes it's on the radio.
Yeah. Sometimes Google just takes all your DNA and puts it in an algorithm and tells you what you like. And that's exciting too.
That shuffle button has never been more powerful, I don't think.
It's crazy.
Oh yeah.
Like shuffling like body wash that I might like too. Like,
yeah.
Wow, this is crazy. How'd you know what shampoo I would like?
It's like you got to take a risk. Go in that aisle in the supermarket and like bust out and get yourself a different fragrance. Maybe you never know. Like live
baby.
On the edge. Variety is the spice of life, and I like my life spicy. But I don't know if I want my body wash to be spicy. I don't know if that's a good idea.
Chili pepper body wash.
That would be dope. I like chili pepper. Like, I mean, that'd probably sting. But if it's just the smell, like if you smell like a bunch of sizzling fajitas, I don't know, with some nice bell peppers, I think that'd be cool.
I mean, I work in a restaurant, so it's easy for me to smell like that.
Hell yeah. I mean, that's awesome. Like, do you enjoy working in a restaurant? I worked at a college, like San Bernardino University, for like a couple years, like as a cashier and all over the like cafeteria and kitchen and stuff. I can't say that I was like really into like some parts of that job, but I definitely do miss cooking. I always like cooking. I try to cook a lot.
Cooking school, it's like a creative sort of thing, and then like I like being under pressure in some ways, and like dealing with like huge rushes of fucking full restaurants and like slapping shit out and then feeling accomplished. Do I like doing it for 10 hours a day? No. That's about as cool as paying taxes, you know what I mean? It's like, well,
yeah,
if I could do it just for pleasure, I'd be like, this is great.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I worked, I think my last like civilian job, like before, like I'm just doing like music promotion these days mostly, but I worked at Amazon, and like 10-hour days are not fun. I don't like standing up all day. I definitely don't like hauling all these heavy ass packages all day, so that wasn't the most enjoyable. It was nice to have like a cool steady income, and you're not just like doing gig work to try to like pay the bills. But
yeah,
I definitely don't miss all the standing around.
Yeah, fuck that. Yeah, I like to be moving. I think so. In that respect, I do like it.
Oh, yeah.
It's fine.
Anyways,
Fftl.
Fftl, yeah, go check out that tour, all of them. Yeah, listen to them. Do everything you got to do. Shout out to the homies, Little Geronimo. They just dropped a new record a couple weeks ago. Go check that out. So
fucking good.
I love Little Geronimo. These guys are awesome. They're from Florida, so I mean, we as we've mentioned many times, and lots of good things come from Florida.
That's
right,
true.
Chris?
Like every porn star is from Florida, it seems.
Every one. Everyone.
There's a lot of broken homes in Florida. Not all of them. Some people just like doing it. But statistically, broken homes.
We're just stating facts here, that's all.
Yeah, that was in Time magazine. Little Geronimo, you say?
Yeah, Little Geronimo. Awesome guys.
Celebration?
Yeah. That was their album. Right. They just signed Spirit Vision Records. That is Ben Rosette record label. Ben Rosette plays drums in Strawberry Girls.
Ah, yes, I've seen his name. I think he added me on Facebook or something. Maybe we have mutual friends.
Nice. Ben Rosette's awesome. That dude has like a massive discography, and he's like just stays releasing music like every time I turn around. I'm like, oh,
hell yeah.
I always admire people with work ethic, man, and like. Someone like you in the industry, you got a massive work ethic. Like you actually you jump around from band to band, and like you help out with drum tech work, and like you got the awesome stuff with the billow. Like you have an awesome resume, so like it's always good to be a hard worker.
Yeah, I always figured in my 30s I'd pop off better, so here I am,
popping
going
off.
viral, baby. It's all coming together. Finally, I'll be noticed for tapping on a fucking calf.
There you go, man. I mean, that's just your first step into the pond. The water's rippling, man.
I'm back.
The waves are heading in, man. They're gonna crash in your wake, dude. Don't worry.
Yeah.
But I mean, with the villa, like that was your Was that something like that came up like years in advance? Because I know pandemic kind of,
I don't
but
know.
like
So that
you're
actually, I mean, that was last year. It's already been a fucking year. I think around this time, actually, my buddy Jason Mace hit me up and was like, "Hey, Michael Bond's looking for a drummer," uh, and I was like, "Oh, tell him I'm fucking available," because I don't think Michael knew that I was taking gigs or anything. You know what I mean? Like, I don't
yeah
think he knew that I was interested in playing drum. Like, I've gotten that so many. Like, I'll see people on tour now, and they'll be like, "Dude, I didn't know you were wanted to play drums or something." Like, I heard some people were looking for me, like in big bands. I think like Johnny Craig, which I would have never done. He's all right as a person, I guess. Anyways, I won't stir a pot right there. But
good good.
I feel like I'll tread lightly. He's fine. We're buds. But yeah. So Jason was like, Michael's looking for a thing, and I was like, oh, dude, tell him to hit me up. And then he basically had that record written, and they had 2 singles that had come out. And that record's been written for I think it's like a year and a half, almost 2 years now. And so the single just came out, which is finally like, I mean, we filmed that video. So I joined and just to do the tour and stuff. And we went on tour with Scary Kids, and we filmed a music video during that too. We did 2 videos. One might come out, the other is out. Bad for me. And I mean, we filmed that in September, so it's damn near a year to fucking release that shit. But yeah, I didn't do the recordings on that, but we're writing right now, and I did them live. So if you want to see me play the songs, there's live video on YouTube. It's a different style. I think I'm old dad rock.
Get Lenty on them. Don't worry, dude.
Yeah, fucking Linty. Haven't heard that name in a while.
You gotta let them know.
Yeah,
So
I like it though. So it's Michael, and then Kevin from Woes Me. He's the guitar player. Woes Me. Alex from Danger Kids plays guitar, and our buddy Jeremy Crow. He did a lot of local acts and stuff in the Georgia area, and he's sick. He's a sick musician, among other things. So it's pretty cool. We're excited to go record some more, get some new shit out.
So I have a question. Like I like you and many others experienced something called a pandemic.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
What? Never heard of it. What is that?
Yeah,
Explain.
I just watched True Blood for 4 days in a row. That was it.
So, how did that affect you? Would you say, like, did it give you more time, or like with the way like everything from like an industry level, like shows being canceled and stuff, like did that just kind of like, I don't know,
Fuck my brain.
Yeah, I mean, I made a podcast to, like, because my band couldn't get shows, so
Yeah.
I didn't make it, but I jumped on one that was looking for people. So, I mean,
Dude, yeah. Honestly, I was stoked. I was stoked on what I got out of it. I'm not stoked it happened.
yeah,
I'm not stoked all the tours I was gonna make money on got canceled. You know what I mean?
yeah,
In some other in another dimension, it never happened. You know, it's a different path. But this one, it did. I honestly, like, so I left this tour with Polyphia, not left, like the tour was over, and
Yeah.
I was on tour with this band on there, and me and the singer were like, we're gonna write together. We're gonna do this record, and he's from England,
Yeah.
and so I immediately got home and I wrote like a track, and then I wrote like another track in like 2 weeks and stuff, like doing all the like I think it was like 2 tracks at least a week during a week and a half, and I kept that up. I made like 28 songs or 30 songs that year because I just kept up my pace of like writing in hopes of like doing this because he's such a sick singer and stuff. And I don't want to give away names or anything because it's a super secret band. But
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited about it. But he's got to release his 3rd album right now. You know,
it's like an unspoken rule. You gotta keep the secrets. You know,
yeah,
it's like
it's honestly it's a Marvel movie. I can't fucking talk about it, honestly. It's like, I'm like, yeah, so I got that out of that. Like, I got to write real heavy. I kind of got sober. I like cut all the drinking, like down to a minimum to where I'd like do it like twice a month maybe, instead of like 5 times a week with like 4 blackouts. You know what I mean? And then the last year I stopped completely. So it was good. I got good. I got good things out of it.
Yeah, and then New
York. I mean, have you been to New York in a while?
I've never been.
I hated it. Used to hate it. COVID, everyone just left, I'm assuming. And I parked in Manhattan, first try. It was great. It wasn't crowded. Like, man.
All it took was a global epidemic, man.
Yeah, go back home. You shouldn't be here. It's too expensive. Leave it to the rich people.
Of course.
Yeah. So positives came out of it.
The best kind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of course. I mean, it's always good to like try to take these situations when we're given time to like, reevaluate situations and kind of like focus on stuff, because it's always best to utilize your time, because time is always slipping into the future and all that. Not to reference a song or anything.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's in a song because it's true. I mean, you don't put stuff that's fake in songs.
And on the Space Jam soundtrack. So.
Of course. Space is the final frontier.
Yeah. Of course. Steve Miller and Space Jam.
Of course. Gotta get those references. They gotta be multi-level. You gotta have layers into the meta. But I feel like that's what music's becoming mostly these days. It's like a mishmash of genres and like stuff people grew up with, and it's just like, well, what if we did this?
Yeah. Yeah, they're just pulling from everything they've ever liked, which is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to like blend all of the good feelings and try to, I mean, you're just trying to like encapsulate 3 minutes of time for a person. Are you gonna blow us up again?
3 minutes? Why not 10 minutes of like making Final Fantasy music, but with rock instruments?
I'm in. I'm down.
I mean,
I'll just do the Sephiroth theme song over and over again.
Yes, I'm telling you, post-hardcore or just metalcore, somebody needs to be putting some like Latin chants in their songs. Like that would just be awesome over like a China cymbal and some blast beat.
We're getting there. Helena's getting there.
Do it.
What's that cat
serious.
doing?
That cat's
being a cat.
If you make it.
Oh.
Best cat. This is the best content ever. I love that cat.
Yeah, I love cats.
I love cats. My mom has like she found a couple of kittens, and I've just been like, kittens. Like I love kitties. I love cats. Any felines are just like they're the superior animal of all species. I mean, dog lovers are going to be
such a controversial show I'm on.
Yeah, you just made an enemy out of every dog lover now. Good job.
Yeah, great. And there's too many of those.
The lines have to be drawn in the sand by someone in the music community.
Every basic idiot's a fucking dog lover. Damn it!
I wanted to slam on the dashboard, but I'd knock my phone over. But that's what I wanted to do. My anger knows no bounds. But with 8 minutes remaining, unless I'm guessing, because it always cuts us off a couple minutes before. Yuri, are you ready? But we'll be able to switch over. Unless you got shit to do, Chris. We don't want to hold you too long. We don't want to, manipulate.
No, I'm all good.
Hell yeah, brother. Definitely. What was the atmosphere like at So What Music Festival? Like, I know you had. It's a little viral. We know the atmosphere.
Man, that goddamn thing. It was so fucking hot.
Oh yeah.
And it was. I mean, it was fine. It was fine. It felt very Warped Toury, but like I told, it was. I don't want to talk shit on it, honestly. Like, I'm sure someone worked sort of hard on it, and I don't know. I heard like the day before they like ran out of water and shit, and like all the crew and like the people working it were really, really great and trying their hardest. It was just like they're just keeping a ship up that's fucking like in a battered ass storm. So they all did a great job. Anyone working it was doing great. It was just like I don't know. It was weird.
I feel like the swing of shows. While I feel like we were like 6-7 months into like pandemic allowing shows and such.
Yeah.
I feel like there's always going to be obstacles to be created. What with the soaring gas prices and just the inflation of everything,
100%. Yeah. I don't think it was anyone's fault. I think it was. I mean, there was a lot of fucking bands on that goddamn thing.
Oh yeah.
I was like, who is this geared towards?
Everybody.
Yeah, everyone in the world. Find something
you went viral,
like
though. I mean, it did something right.
Yeah. I mean, shocking, honestly. It was good. Yeah, it was fine. It was fine.
Were you able to catch any bands that you hadn't seen in years? Any catch up with any homies you haven't seen in a minute, or
dude? Yeah, fucking.
I
saw fucking Matt Mahana. I hadn't seen him in a decade, and so found out we were both going to be there, and so he came and saw me. We played the second day, so he played the first day, and so he came and saw me and was like, "Hey, dude, it was fucking bizarre. I mean, feels like no time's passed, but a decade's gone by, and it was great. I mean, we immediately just like were laughing and having a good time. This kid was like, came up, and I'd never met him before, but he's like, "Dude, I got you on Facebook," and I was like, "Oh, sick, man, thanks." And he's like, "Was that the first time you've seen Mahana?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Dude, it's been like 10 years." And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "It's pretty special." And I was like, "Yeah."
Thanks, Facebook Mutual.
You're right, buddy. Thanks, dude. What a cool guy.
The people of Facebook are very kind when they want to be, and I'm glad that they have the ability to do so. And there's a lot of cool people. Like Facebook, yes, is a cesspool of like weird, dumb shit, but there are some very kind people that are on that, and just reach out and be like, "Hey, brother, you're special."
He's a real friend now. He's not just a Facebook friend.
It's Facebook official now.
Yeah.
We're friends on Facebook and in real life.
I wish you could like verify friendships on Facebook. Be like, this is an IRL relationship too. And you like double click it.
That would be the thing that saves Facebook. That could be the thing that saves Facebook. A top 8 of checkmarked friends. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Remember back when Facebook had close friends?
Yeah.
Well, that was the thing. Now it's just like favorites. And no one ever knows. You can't have close friends anymore, but you can stalk people.
Yeah. So bizarre.
Not the same. So we got 4 minutes, but maybe less. You were around, I'm sure, during the season. We're on season 3 of our show, but season 2, we were hitting up as many MySpace bands. We had a Skylit Drive on here. Jordan Blake, I should say, of some band called ASD, Legal Obligation. Anyway,
Jagman.
But
the
difference between MySpace and say Facebook, what would you say do you notice is different?
Oh man, MySpace was just like full on ego. It's just like, this is what I like to wear, this is what I listen to, this is how cool I am. I don't feel like there was any real depth on MySpace. I feel like at least on Facebook, you're supposed to have some sort of close friendship with these people you're adding, or you know what I mean? Give them something of humanity. MySpace was literally just fucking as many photos as you could pose for with a studded belt. Yeah. Just looking, what you thought was cool. God damn, it is cool. Studded belts are tight.
There was some very nice hair patterns and designs. Yeah. People put a lot of work into the aesthetic.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
not to quote from First to Last discography, but there was an aesthetic to be maintained for. Tight pants were in. Thanks 18 Visions, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, girl pants. I had to go to fucking JCPenney and buy fucking girl pants.
People don't know how easy they have it nowadays, man. You had to you had to go to a section of a store and get a lot of like weird eyes being like, you don't even get. I don't care.
Yeah. I used to get made fun of all the time. Just walking around Walmart, just getting called fucking slurs and shit. I'm just like, you'll like it in 10 years, you bastard.
And then not even 10 years. I think pretty much like 2010, like LMFAO came out. Kid Cudi was wearing skinny jeans. Kanye was wearing skinny jeans. It was just like, we told you, they're comfortable.
Yeah.
It's just good. Like, I always say though, like girl pants, you know, they had like elasticity, spandex. Skinny jeans, like, you know, there's a, you know, they don't have quite the same ring to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, girl pants would like you'd blow out the crotch, like it would lose all the elasticity.
Yeah,
it's fucking weird. And you'd have like some sort of like diaper situation, like, then your
gotta get in some hot water, throw it in the dry.
I don't miss that.
I don't either.
I was wearing youth large t-shirts. Like, granted, I was like 16, but like,
I wore a lot of extra medium shirts. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, it was in. It was definitely like hair metal. It was the hair metal.
Mm-hmm. I think that's because our, like, you know, the parental generation of that era was like hair metal, so it was kind of like that's our way of like going, we're just like you, mom and dad. We learned it from you.
So cool.
Less of a curly thing though, and more of a straight flat iron thing. But
I wish we were blowing out the hair more.
That was cool. I mean, some people had that big buffant.
Dude, just look at fucking Rob Damiani's hair. Look at.
Hey, I'm alive.
I mean, so alive.
Just looking at hotels for this fucking. Have you seen this Desert Days Festival?
No, I've not.
It's Tame Impala's playing Lonerism in its entirety, and it's like a bunch of like psychedelic bands and shit. Bunch of shit I'm into. And
hell yeah,
it's pretty dope.
I'd go.
I'm going. I bought tickets. And then my buddy's like, his band, he runs production for The Armed, this like really sick collective of like hardcore musicians. He's like, I might be able to get you passes. I'm like, please?
Oh yeah.
Pretty please.
Fucking killer.
A pretty idiot says pretty please. I'm just saying.
That's what you gotta do. I'm branding.
You gotta be on brand. Be Brandon, you know, he's branding everybody out here. Hot iron stuff.
So what were we talking about? MySpace?
And we talked about giant blue fonts.
we were specifically talking about like poofy hair.
Oh yes. Yeah.
He's hair, while not as like extremely frizzy and like coily all the way out to the, you know, it was definitely.
I'm so glad I never did that.
It was. I mean, did you flat iron your hair? Did you have long hair? Or are you just?
I have such fucking straight and like fine hair already.
Must be nice.
This baby was just swooping.
Boy, is
red.
it?
There it is. There it is. That's it. Still looks good.
Yeah, I don't have no complaints, but Yuri, you got the traditional, like from first to last, like stringy, like awesome straight. Like,
what I'm going for is just that anime look of like it's kind of straight up top and it just flares out more and more the longer it gets. And I've got like a one side long and shit. I don't know. I'm
cool anime mullet. Almost.
I'm too much of a weed. I just took it and ran with it. Fuck it.
You look like 50% of it from first to last crowd. Any given night. There's 60 of you guys.
That's the secret, Yuri. All emo hair, all from first to last hair is anime hair. It's just, that's what it is.
I know. That's. I think because we were all watching too much fucking. What was on the fucking Yu Yu Hakusho was a big one back then.
Toonami was just a big deal back in those days. It was like the only thing on at like 5 o'clock in the
Oh my fucking god. I miss when Toonami was a weeknight thing, not like weekends.
It was just a week on TV, like back in those days. I mean, early 2000s, 99, like there wasn't much on TV, like Dexter's Laboratory maybe.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you looked on Comedy Central back in the day, there was BattleBots. That was about it.
South Park was always on, man.
Oh yeah, of course.
I think they had Lupin the Third too. They would play that late at night.
That
That's a
Oh,
good
yeah.
one.
that show's fucking
And
great.
then Cowboy Bebop was always popping back then. What
Yeah.
else?
Again, Tenchi, like Universe, Tenchi Muyo. Let's see, Late at Night.
Trigun?
Trigun!
was,
My man.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
all right. I need to pitch a series. Like, 'cause I think you both are familiar with Trigun. I'm pretty sure. So, the writer of that show did another show called Blood Blockade. You should watch it. It's the shit. It's
Well,
about
Check it out.
it's about a kid who
Like-
moves to New York, and New York is actually hell. Which I mean is basically New York, but still.
I told you. Well, not anymore since COVID. Now it's
He's
fine.
got parking now. He can get parking
Yeah.
now.
Now it's purgatory.
Sorry.
Good. It's leveling up.
Hell yeah.
You
So,
said it's called what? Blood Block?
Blood Blockade.
Blood Block.
But yeah, it's same writer as Trigun, and it's the shit. It's my favorite show ever.
he also did Gungrave. Like, what is it? Night Owl?
Yeah, Night Owl. Don't have quite pronounced,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
Hell
He's
yeah.
I love that guy. His art style is amazing. Like,
Right.
people don't even. Most people don't know, like, the anime was, like, made before the manga was even done, and, like, the manga, like, goes off, like, the comic book. To you folks that aren't inclined to knowing what a manga is, it definitely differs, because they, like, you know, the manga didn't get finished until after, like, anime was long since done, like, years later.
Sick.
Sick, yeah. Thanks.
Very
Good job,
tight.
co-host. He's probably looking up some like Night Owl right now. He's just like, I need more anime.
I mean, all day every day, man. All day every day. Actually,
Very good,
I haven't watched a single anime in like probably 6 months or more. And that was just fucking One
Getting the
Piece.
shakes.
Yeah.
Freaking out. I miss
I need
it.
more anime, man.
I don't actually watch them. I just really like the aesthetic. Like,
Yeah.
I play a lot of video games and then try and recreate music from the video games, and that's kind of all I do. Ever.
That's cool. Nothing wrong with that.
I mean, I'm pretty sure, Chris, you're like from first to your era from first to last is probably like the only era from first to last like on like a Need for Speed and like Madden, right? Am I wrong?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
What?
Oh wait, no. Okay, so there was that one. I think Populism 2 was on a game.
Oh,
Wasn't one of your band's songs? I don't know if it was. What was the first last? Was that like Burnout 3 or something?
I think so.
I
think so. That might be what Populism 2 was on. And then I know once they got the EA contract, it was on everything. And then Matt wrote the theme song for Command and Conquer, or like re-recorded it or something.
yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Command and Conquer, Red, something. It was tight. Sick ass. I'd love to just make theme songs for video games and
You hear
or
that?
wrestlers. I really want to make wrestler entrance songs. Like I feel like I'd be really good at it. I've tested
Dude.
the waters.
I think WWE, like AEW, definitely could utilize, because I mean AEW has been like referencing post-hardcore a lot more. I mean CM Punk came out to AFI, which was his theme song in the Indies, and it's just like
Yeah.
I mean,
he
well,
got Every Time I Die is a wrestler. You know, Andy's just like
Oh, Andy.
he's beating the hell out of people on live television, and he's got
He's
roots,
sick,
man. I'm just saying, if there was ever a time for Chris Lent to be tapping the heels of anybody these days,
I gotta find an up and comer, man. Make a song.
do it. I mean, we did have a Kid Bandit on the show. I'm sure we
Right.
could.
yeah,
I'm
I
just
was
saying,
about to say.
we know a person like that's wrestling. They might need a theme song.
Dude, hook it up. I'll fucking make them one.
Of course, we will hit up Kid Bandit. We'll tell them, and we'll get you that little opportunity there. Maybe. Who knows?
yeah.
Like, we're all here about connecting bridges, making bridges. You know.
I'm into it.
I'm
I may have
digging it.
just changed my world.
Who knows? It's all possible in the world of Chris Lent. I mean, he's viral today. Who knows tomorrow, man? He might just be the next like plague. The
Uh-oh.
latest.
Oh no, dude. You're 5 for 5 on from first to last bun.
Sorry. I think that like that Spotify pie chart thing.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it was like Dance Gavin Dance from first to last. And it's just like
I'm into it.
that's just who I am. I love him for like I've been a fan for so long. Like Dear Diary, I bought that. I just tried to keep up with it as much as I could, and when I had money to afford stuff, like that's why I like the YouTube stuff because it was just like I wasn't always like in the money, but like YouTube was like as long as I got an internet connection, I can watch from first to last TV.
I'll tell you who else wasn't in the money during that time. From first to last, we were so, one and the same, my friend.
I mean, do you guys have that whole fiasco with like what was it? Because it was like one record label had you, and then it like dissolved, and then another one like bought you guys or something like.
Yeah, Capitol Records, and
Yeah.
Yeah. I generally luck out joining these bands because I don't really sign contracts with any of these labels, and so like from first I never signed any contract with a label, so fuck all that. And then I just was a writer and publisher for that record. You know what I mean? So not under anyone's control yet.
Like so with the loss,
you get to keep all 3 quintillions of a penny.
Yeah, exactly. This comes straight to me, not through the hands of anyone.
Son in the palm of his hand on Spotify at all times, just like give me my quintillion.
Just imagine Smog, but he's just on a millionth of a penny in a giant empty cave.
Just a bunch of just Spotify stats. He's just got like some really good micro pennies.
Yeah, it's just half of a penny and a bunch of cred.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone's like, weren't you in that band? It's like, yeah, and it's like, cool.
Cool. All right, speaking of Smog, when is somebody gonna have that band where like the singer is just a giant fucking dragon?
I think we should use more projection art in all live events. So I think immediately Pretty Idiot has just announced that the new lead singer is Smog.
Yeah, Dragon. I was gonna say, did you want me to tell him, Chris? Because it's like, have you never seen Pretty Idiot? Like, he is a dragon.
Queued me up, Yuri. It's the big surprise.
I was gonna say, like,
this is his human corporeal form. Like, this is just how he appears on interviews. If you've ever seen
human brain, you can't handle
it. Thing, he was a dragon on stage, dude. Like,
shit,
he was hiding.
Blue was covered. I'm so sorry.
He was covered in his micro.
Come out sometime.
Like the world's most viral Polyphia drum tech, revealed to be dragon. Like, damn.
I mean, you know what? Knowing them, that kind of tracks. Honestly.
Yeah, Tim's just like, we got a dragon as a drum tech. It's not a big deal.
That's.
It's very lore. It's very lore friendly.
Yeah. They are gods.
They definitely, they better be. They got the drum tech of a god, so the energy's got to rub off on them a little bit.
I told them, I was like, I don't think I'm going to tell people what happened, like, the actual story with all the in-ear thing. I was just going to tell this story about how God was jealous of Clay's sick fills, so he took away his ability to hear. And so I, against God's wishes, came and tapped on his leg to get him through it. Just to smite him.
This is how the Titans got put away, man. And, I know this is going to be a very dramatic thing, and you're going to get a lot of heat for this. They're going to be coming for you, Chris. Like,
a lot of lightning bolts.
I know if you got to pull a Snowden and go to another country, I understand. Like, I don't want you to be fearing for your life, because the gods, you've taken their fire, dude.
Yeah, I'm going back to Italy, baby.
I mean, if they're giving him he's a fucking dragon. He's just pretty far back to them. He can give all the heat back and then some.
That's true.
But he's got to return the mustache back to Italy, dude. Like, it needs to be home. It needs to be back.
Motherland.
Yeah. That's where dragon mustaches come from, Italy, Like,
it's true. It's true. It's just handmade in Italy.
Yeah, handcrafted.
My great-great-great-grandfather fucking whoever he fucked to give me this mustache.
Oh shit, this is funny. I love this. It's a great ass episode, dude. I'm very appreciative. Sorry for a car. It's so loud right now. I just had to have a cigarette. Anyway, very appreciative of you spending your time here today. And I definitely know Yuri's got about like 15 minutes left, possibly maybe like 20. But I wanted to just like definitely take the time to like thank you and all that, like, because like I've been a fan of yours for a long time, dude. And it's awesome to see you, like, you know, keep popping up and stuff. And, like, with the Velocity Records, having Villa and all that. And, like, you having music still coming out with Pretty Idiot and stuff. It's just, like, it's good to see, like, a working class musician still busting his ass out there.
Real salt of the fucking earth, man.
Blue. You're a real blue-collar good guy. You're stalwart, man.
Yeah, when I'm not making tunes, I'm fucking roofing.
You're a very vigilant Spotify soldier, you know, like you're staying on top of your shit and you stay working, man. That's it's good because there's people like that don't got that hustle, you know, and it's just like it sucks to see people struggle and stuff, but like to see you still like working it up and like kicking ass doing it, like good on you, dude.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Of course.
I do got my new Pretty Idiot single will drop. I think mid-July. I filmed a video for it with my buddy Travis Schutz, who did the first video. So I think it'll be pretty cool. I mean, it's not like anything in the genres that I'm associated with. Especially, I mean, you can tell that from the first single, but you know, I like it, so I don't really give a fuck.
That's how you gotta do it. That's how you gotta do it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to like make music I would have heard on the radio as a kid in like Europe and been like, love this song. You know what I mean?
Whatever gets your head bobbing. Like if you're making music and you're not making music for yourself when it's like your own personal project, like I can get like, you know, when you got to fill in for somebody's drums, you got to get someone else's vision across and stuff. But I mean, if it's your own project, like please express yourself the way you want to. Like don't try to fit in a box for anybody.
Right. Yeah, I think a lot of people get wrapped up in trying to, you know, fit some sort of mold they think people like. And I think that loses like all the heart and fucking feel out of the music. There's a lot of fucking music I don't listen to in this scene, like that I would be associated with just because of that. You know what I mean? They're all just like copy on a copy on a copy on a copy. It's just like, okay, I don't fucking.
Yeah,
I've heard this before.
Yeah, I get it. 100%. How would you rate your time like so far? Because you say you've been with the Villa for about a year, and like Velocity is like a new startup record label, lots of great acts like Scary Kids, Destroy, Rebuild Until God Shows. So I mean, Thursday's on there too. I mean, that's got to be kind of surreal to be on the same record label as like people who've been in the industry, just like if not as long as you, it's still like a little teensy bit longer. You know, like that's got to be crazy.
I feel like Thursday was on Epitaph too or something. I might be wrong.
I'm pretty sure they were. Yeah.
They were?
Yeah.
I guess I'm just following Thursday in their footsteps. You've exposed me yet again. Not only am I a dragon, I am also just following Thursday.
You know what? If you're following Jeff Rickley, you're probably doing something right. That dude's fucking great.
This tracks too, because that was like my first actual on my own concert was Thursday AFI and Coheed.
Fuck yeah.
That's good.
I mean, my first concert was Hootie and the Blowfish, and that was fucking sick.
Yeah, of course. It's like, how can you like go wrong with Hootie and the Blowfish? The best.
You mean Grammy award-winning Hootie and the Blowfish?
Hell yeah! Like, what's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with Hootie. That was like '90s gold right there, man.
Ah, incredible. Still listen.
I don't want to be with you. I mean, come on now. Like, where can you go wrong?
Can't. Not with Hootie.
Yeah. The craziest thing is there's no Hootie in the band.
Darius Rucker, baby, holding it down. Still cashing checks.
I also noticed, I don't know, like if you've ever noticed this about that band, but there's also not a Blowfish at all. Everybody's always looking for Hootie, but I'm just saying, like, you know, there's also not a Blowfish, but
not even one Blowfish piece of art with that band. I like that they totally were just like, that's the name of the band. No
Nothing.
art's gonna be relevant to it. That's
Ever.
it. If you ask us where we got that name, doesn't matter. We're not
I
gonna
wonder-
answer it.
I'm curious to deep dive their discography to make sure maybe like there's a merch, maybe something. I want to know, like, and I want to like if I ever get Hootie and the Blowfish on this show, I'm gonna ask them like how many people have come to you with like Blowfish merchandise, and you're like, no, get it out of here. Like, no, I can't do it.
Bro.
You're gonna
Nah.
break. What if that's the spell of their success? It's just like we have to call ourselves this, but never associate ourselves with the imagery.
Yeah, it's mystique. The whole mystique. They could have had a whole fucking underwater documentary, scored by Hootie and the Blowfish, narrated by David Attenborough. They blew it, dude.
Yeah.
Dave
So, does that
Attenborough, I love how specific that was.
What are they doing now? Fucking living in mansions, playing
What-
benefit concerts for millions of people.
Come to think it was David Attenborough doing that. Is he still alive?
Yeah, I think he just narrated a new, oh, we'll know when he dies, dude.
Right.
Don't check
COVID
Google.
part
Let's
two.
just- if he is dead, let's just pretend he's alive for a little longer.
Yeah, I'm pretty
he-
sure the
he-
world's gonna lock down again.
Dude, if he dies between us recording this and it getting posted, I will actually cry.
Oh, I don't want to put that. You delete the episode if that happens. It's obviously cursed.
That feels so bad. Just now I've said it out loud. Damn
Don't
it, it's my
speak
fault.
that into existence, Yuri.
Fuck. Now I'm worried. I'm really worried.
Don't check Google. I don't even want to know. He's alive as far as I'm concerned.
Like, David Attenborough's dead, and we're gonna pull the Avatar 2 movie you've been waiting 13 years to see. No one's gonna see it.
Just, alright, what actually happened in that movie besides like the guy wanting to shag an alien? That's all I
Man.
remember.
It's a visual effects masterpiece.
Yes, I saw that movie, I think, 8 times in 3D when it was in theaters.
Yeah.
That's
It was
how
a big-
depressed I was as a human being. I wanted to live in that fucking world. It's just like, take me there. 3 hours of fucking movie. I was like, fuck it. Worth it.
I mean, it definitely is something you have to see on the big screen, because if you watch it on like FX on the weekend, like you're gonna be like, this is just Pocahontas. Like, you know, it's definitely with
Yeah, it's Fern Gully.
Yeah, it's Fern Gully with Smurfs. Like, definitely it is. It's definitely the plot feels very lifted from other sources, but on a big screen it is a very big visual spectacle, and it was at the time like probably the most advanced piece of like, it's the same what like Star Wars was when it first came out. It was just like nobody had seen stuff like that before, and it
100%. It blew
3D
my
movies
mind.
weren't that expensive either.
Yeah, no, I don't remember like seeing a 3D movie that was like, man, this is great before that.
Yeah, like you'd see
I remember.
documentaries that are like
Yeah.
10 minutes long and they cost like $8 to see, and it's just like, wow, that was expensive, but that did look cool underwater.
Yeah, and they had like, I mean, I remember vividly when I was growing up, they had the VHS tapes. So it'd be like roller coasters in 3D, and it'd be like red and blue fucking little glasses they give you. And it was
And
just garbage.
Jaws
It's just-
3D is trash, and just like the fact that you can't really
Jaws
watch
3D.
it, it's still trash. Like it's just,
Yeah,
it was not like they didn't even make movies for 3D like really well back then. And they even if they like knew how, they didn't know how. So
Actually, speaking of movies, speaking of, like cinematography shit, what's it like actually like coming up with ideas for music videos and shit, and actually like scripting that shit out?
oh man, I'm such like a movie buff. Like I watch so many movies, and I know, like I retain so much useless knowledge that it upsets people. Like just to like ask me about like, they'll be like, hey, have you seen this movie? I'm like, oh well, you know that movie's from yeah. I think I annoy people pretty heavily with that. So I'm constantly just want to be in movies and like make them. So it's pretty easy for me to like come up with a story. Like
yeah.
so like I have a lot of like music video ideas that I want to put into fruition. I just need money. And that's why I'm coming to you guys to put my Patreon. Just kidding.
Smash that like
Just
button.
kidding.
Hit that subscribe.
Yeah. I'm just hoping to stumble onto some fucking like hidden treasure once. I'll find a map and just do it.
Just go somewhere. Just go somewhere in Oregon. It's always raining there. There's sunken treasure somewhere along the lines. There's gotta be.
If you think I don't think about how I wish my life was the Goonies every day, you're wrong. It's
oh my god. Fucking
Chris, I'm sure you can make a Kickstarter, a Patreon for Leg Tapper, the biopic of the Polyphia drum tech. Like,
oh god.
I'm sure that you can get that greenlit somewhere. I'm sure you've done some cool stuff around the world.
Jesus. I'm gonna have to ride this, aren't I? I'm gonna have to print merch. Tap me one time, Chris. Tap me. I'm gonna have to market it.
If your headphones fail, I'll be there.
Yeah.
Just
you just release like 2 fingers or something, and it'll just be like a hand. You can just put it on your leg and just wax you.
No. You gotta go meet the queen, get knighted, and get your name changed to Sir Taps a lot.
Sir Taps a lot. They call me Big Tapper.
No, you need to get a picture, and it's just like a fucking drum stool with the text above it. I'd tap that.
There you go. That's a good. Don't give away these ideas for free.
Hey man, someone
careful. Careful.
They'll write down all your ideas, man.
Yeah, I'll snatch these up.
That's why after I say when you make the Chris brand leg tappers, trademark, copyright, Chris Lent, creative copyright, that's his.
Yeah.
It has his name. It has to have his name on it because you can't copyright a human name, I think.
Can you not?
I don't
think so. You
gotta
put 2 eyes in it.
Something. Yeah, there you go.
Double eye Chris. Please.
There you go. I mean, I think the Ultimate Warrior, the only way he could get away with being called the Ultimate Warrior after his WWF, whatever you want to call it, contract, he had to change his name to Warrior. So, I mean, I guess
what a letdown, too.
First name can't be Ultimate, unfortunately. Ultimate Chris Lent cannot exist. I'm sorry, Chris.
That's fucked up, dude.
I want to be Ultimate.
Can you imagine 30 years of your life and then they're like, yeah, we own that name. You're like, what? Can't sign Ultimate?
Yeah, what?
Then your heart explodes from all the fucking steroids you used to do.
Oh,
rest in peace, Ultimate.
Stay there in the heavens of the Warrior, like
he's up there with fucking Macho Man.
Yeah, Macho Man saved the world from ending once, man. He deserves our praise. He stopped, he stopped Spider-Man from getting a pro wrestling career. So I mean,
yeah, I forgot about that.
If he wasn't so mean to him and said he had him for 3 minutes, maybe Spider-Man could have been the best pro wrestler of all time. But man, maybe that was just a movie. I don't know. I thought that was real life because wrestling's real,
Why aren't there more Marvel superheroes moonlighting and just crushing people in fighting rings? Why is only Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter handling that?
Chris, don't be giving away all your ideas.
Shit, bro.
Well, I mean, hey, no, you gotta think. I mean, there was that fucking Mortal Kombat DC crossover thing.
What he's saying is, like, how, like, the Green Ranger is actually, like, a mixed martial artist. He actually goes out and whips people's asses. No, it's just like, that's
Green Ranger. Is that the one that recently killed someone, or am I making up?
No, that's the Red Ranger.
Is that?
A little bit. No, there have been some Power Rangers that have gotten into some legal trouble. You're not wrong about that. That's not a fever dream like that. I can confirm that, yes, you have seen in the news some Power Rangers losing their mind. I was talking about, like, the original Green Ranger off Mighty Morphin. He played the White Ranger. Tommy. In real life, his name's Jason David Frank, and, like, he has an amateur mixed martial arts record, and he was, like, undefeated, and he, like, had a couple pro fights, and he never lost, and he just kicking Foo's ass in real life, and it's just like, wow, that Power Ranger's badass.
It's like the opposite of CM Punk. I was so revved, I was like, hell yeah, CM's gonna whoop this dude's ass. And then he came out, and he looked like sick, and I was like, no!
No,
he dropped weight.
Stop the
Oh, dude.
He's ruining my T-shirt.
He's so badass still, though, so it's all good.
Just a
I
quick
think
heads
the
up,
only
guys.
way.
I've only got about 10 minutes left. Just
Yeah,
to be aware.
We can wrap it up. My one quote on CM Punk though is as bad as his UFC career was, he's gifted with the gift of gab enough to still be badass because he could talk his way like into anything.
Oh yeah, I mean he's incredible all around.
Oh yeah, great. Like he's not the greatest fighter, but like to do what he does, to do any form of that professional wrestling stuff, like even being good at talking, like it requires a lot of like you got to be good. You did that.
Yeah, and 100% would whoop the dog shit out of me. So
yeah. I probably whipped the shit out of me and Yuri and just anybody watching this right now. Like
same time.
Yeah, over a Pepsi.
Pepsi. What's his new name? Mike.
Yeah, Mike Pepsi. Copyright,
okay.
trademark. Now I want a Pepsi. I'm institutionalized about this right now.
Oh God, I knew it was coming.
Yeah, you had to.
I'm so sorry. I opened the can of worms. That was my fault.
Yeah, you did.
Well, without a doubt, since we only have a certain amount of time, and I don't want to, I know Yuri got work or whatever. Usually, when we go about to close up the episode, we like to ask our guests, like, what have you been listening to lately, or if you want to shout out some homies, or give some airspace to like somebody you think's been working really hard. Like the floor's yours. If you want to like plug your socials or whatever, like we can get all that real quick in a nice little bow.
I mean, the best stuff I heard is on YouTube. You type in "Pretty Idiot Vultures." It works for. Just kidding. I've been
for real. Do it. Like, sleep at night. Repeat, please.
I don't know what like I try to listen to like as much new music as I can that's coming out. I know the new Working Men's Club is coming out, and that's pretty all right. I think it's Below My Mind. Remy Wolf's new stuff is good. Moderate. The new Noisia came out. I listen to a lot of fucking weird music. New Foals just came out. They're one of my favorite bands. People that work really hard that I want to shout out. No one. Just kidding. Go check out, if someone is listening to this and doesn't listen to Derek and Travis's new band, Colera Violins or Color of Violence, they should obviously go listen to that. I'm pretty sure the new track, the newest single of that was the one with Derek singing on it, and that's fucking badass that he's fucking doing that. My new single will be out in mid-July with new video and maybe some stickers or a t-shirt or nothing that'll garner me any money. So
maybe a nice little stick that you can tap people's legs with, like
yeah it's a bullseye. You put it on your calf muscle, and I'll come
go
the
buy
low price of $1,500, and I'll put these fucking fingers on that leg.
Go buy a bunch of barbecue skewers and like put like a little marker, like colors on it. The Chris Brand tapper, just like I'm telling you.
I love it.
They'd buy it in droves. Like the Polyphia guy touched this.
Well, just a couple of children that made it in the factory touched it, but it's his design.
It was his masterpiece, his vision that brought it here.
Yeah, I'm outsourcing to factories on the cheap. So.
Oh yeah, and definitely everybody should check out any Fftl music video, any new tracks that
Bad for Me's out. Yeah. I think the next single, Save Yourself, will be out in a couple weeks, maybe like 2. I don't know. I don't really.
This probably won't be released like tomorrow, so like it might be a few days from now when
go check out the new single from the Fftl right now.
Do it.
It's out.
Stop the video. Pause. You can come back. There's like a couple minutes left, but pause. Go check out the Fftl. Pretty Idiot. That's the 2 eyes in the front of Idiot. Is it in the front or in the back?
It's in the middle.
Oh
it's
God.
I-O. It's I-I-O.
Sorry, I'm a pretty idiot with just one eye. No, 2 eyes. Wait.
It could be whatever you want, honestly.
Just find it. Listen to it.
It's only going to garner me about $1 in its full career term, so it's all good. Any way you
Get
want to
it?
spell it.
We all deserve micro pennies, man. We just want a a cave, just like with a bunch of micro pennies in it. We just want to chill.
100%.
I feel it. But 100%, Chris, thank you so much for your time today, dude. Like, this has been hella fun. You're, like, fucking funny as fuck to talk to, dude. You're, like, down to earth as fuck. Like,
It was a good time.
if you ever want to chat, my inbox is open. Yuri over here, he does great music with Hammern and Gilded Wings group. Like,
send it my way, Yuri.
Fuck yeah, thank you so much. I will.
Like, shout out to all, like, anybody that's watching, anybody that is watching, please go check out Chris's stuff. This has been the Demo Team Podcast. Super special thanks to Ghost Killer Entertainment. That's our partners. They help get us, you know, a little more attention, and they like great artists like Chris Lent, and they get excited. Like our boss Zach, he just gets so excited when we get like great bands and great artists like Chris Lent here. So thank you, Chris, for giving us your time today. Like from the bottom of my heart, and everyone listening, and Yuri over here. Thanks, man. I appreciate it a lot.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you both.
Absolutely.
Did you have
it's nice meeting you, mate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hell yeah. Did you have any social medias you wanted to plug?
Yeah, so Pretty Idiots on Instagram. That's pretty and then IDIIOT. And then my normal, it's on YouTube as well under that. And you can find my links for everything on that.
Hell yeah.
Those socials.
Chris
or you can go to Instagram. Oh, sorry, it's pretty _IDIIOT. Woo, almost blew it.
Hopefully they didn't run away from this episode to go check out your Instagram.
That was my fucking shot. Damn it.
Follow Chris on TikTok. He's got a TikTok. It needs more videos, but it's a cool TikTok. What's on there?
Fuck, I forgot about that. Yeah, I think that's about it.
Oh yeah, man. I appreciate your time. Thank you, Yuri, for giving me yours. I know you got to go somewhere, so like from everybody from Ghost Killer Entertainment, like thank you for your time, and thanks everybody for listening.
Oh yeah.
Thank
Cheers.
you. See you guys.
Peace.
Bye bye.
Have a good one.
Thank you.